welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Mommy Monday video. If you are brand new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Melissa and typically I make beauty and makeup related videos, but when I got pregnant I started making pregnancy videos, and now that I'm a mom I'm making mommy videos. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then make sure you subscribe and stick around. I would love to kind of share my mom experiences with you guys. But in today's video, I thought I would talk about my postpartum must-have items. Now, some of these items I anticipated and I bought ahead of time and I had them ready. Others I kind of really wish I had thought about, or I really wish somebody had told me I needed to prepare for. So I thought I would make a video and just kind of let you guys know all the stuff I recommend for postpartum. Lincoln is hanging out with us today in his DockATot. He just ate, but he might get a little bit fussy, so we'll see how that goes. But the first thing, and I wrote everything down on my phone, so maybe I should read it off of that. Okay, the first thing that nobody told me about and I did not hear anybody talk about in any videos are bounce back leggings and pants. So one thing I was told about was a postpartum wrap, like a belly band, and I did buy one of those because that was the only thing that people talked about. So I was like, okay, I guess I need one of those like belly wrap thingies, and I did wear it a couple of times, but it was just kind of bulky. It's hard to sit in it. You have the Velcro, so it makes noise, and it just wasn't comfortable at all. So luckily, I had gone to motherhood maternity with my mom like 2 days before I went into labor. There's a whole line that they carry there called bounce back clothing, and essentially it's like compression bottoms. So I highly recommend you pick up a couple of pairs. Leggings it's what I've lived in since I delivered, and I delivered 6 weeks ago. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up, but he's about 5.5 weeks. So 5.5 weeks ago, I've pretty much been living in leggings the whole time. Now there's a couple of different types of leggings. So these ones are from Pea in a Pod, which is part of the whole Destination Maternity brand. I'm going to link everything down below for you guys so you can find it. These are probably the best bounce back leggings I have found or that I own. You can tell this top part looks like maternity pants because it has like the wide band, but it's very compression-y. It's very heavy, it's very compression-y, and then these have pockets and they're kind of like a really heavy, almost like compression, just heavy duty legging. These are the best. I feel the most secure in these. I feel like these are, I mean, they're not see-through at all. And I bought them in my pre-pregnancy size. You cannot try these on when you're pregnant. So if you are like, if you just found out you're pregnant and you're like 6 weeks pregnant, go and buy your bounce back clothing now because you can try it on. Once you have a belly, you can't put compression up against your belly. It's just not good for your baby or for you. Otherwise, just buy your pre-pregnancy size. So I bought a medium and it was fine. I'm wearing the motherhood maternity version of the bounce back leggings. Now these ones, you can see they go up pretty high. Also, I do think they're a bit see-through. The fabric is a little bit thinner and they don't have pockets. I also made a hole in these with my fingernails. So just kind of keep that in mind, but they're a lot cheaper. In fact, I had sent my sister to motherhood maternity like when I got home from the hospital. I was like, I need more bounce back leggings. Go get me more. So she bought me another pair because I only had these, and so either they're dirty, you have to do laundry every day, baby spits up on them, you leak in them, I mean you're bleeding like crazy at that point. It's just good to have a couple of different pairs. You also don't have to get specific bounce back leggings. I also have these leggings from, what's the brand on here? Matty M. Now these were sent to me for review purposes. However, you can buy them at Costco for $14.99, you guys. $14.99 is such a steal. Way cheaper than the other two options I showed you guys. But these are like really heavy duty. I mean, they're not see-through at all. And they provide a bit of compression. They're high rise, so they go up not quite as high as these ones that go up to pretty much my boobs. But they're gonna give you the same kind of comfort feeling. So any kind of compression tight leggings I think are absolute must-haves. Motherhood Maternity also has jeans, same concept, but they're jeans, so you can see they have like that compression kind of fabric right here. These ones are my favorite. They're a little bit distressed looking. They're really soft and they're really comfortable too. So definitely bounce back clothing. Why does nobody talk about that? So also in the same element of clothing, aside from your nursing tops, if you're somebody who is nursing and pumping for whatever reason, you're doing both, I highly recommend a bra like this. So this is by the brand Ollie Gray. I think there's another brand, Kindred something or another, that I've been seeing ads pop up on my phone for. So creepy. But basically this is a nursing bra and a pumping bra all in one. It is really hard to find something like this. I'm amazed that more companies don't have something like this, because if you're nursing and pumping, so I was on a regimen, whatever you want to call it, where I would nurse and then pump right after. You either have to hold the cups yourself, switch into a hands-free pumping bra. Like, it's just, you're taking your clothes off, you're switching back and forth. It's annoying, right? But something like this, you have the clip down option to nurse your baby, clip it back up, and then here you have a flap to put your pump cups in, and you can wear the same bra and you don't have to keep taking your clothes off. It is awesome. It is such a good idea, such a cool invention, so definitely recommend that. I also recommend bathroom baskets. So I made a video all about this actually that I will link down below for you guys. But get your bathroom prepared for postpartum. And what I mean by that is put your supplies like your pads and all of that in bathroom. I put peri bottles in there, dermaplast, any items you're getting ready for bathroom or like down there use after you deliver. Make a couple of baskets. If you have an upstairs and a downstairs and you plan on spending time both postpartum, put a basket in each bathroom. Just have your stuff ready. On the note of those baskets, these Frida Baby mom washers, this was a dang lifesaver, you guys. So if you have a vaginal delivery, and especially if you tear, you can't wipe normally for a long time. So like, I'm 5.5 weeks postpartum and I just recently started wiping normally. So what you do instead of that is you squirt water and then dab with toilet paper. So in the hospital, they gave me a peri bottle, but it was like a ketchup squirter. Like it worked, but it wasn't easy. Whereas this, you hold it like this and you squirt, actually still have water in it. See that? It squirts out and it squirts at the perfect angle to get down there. And like, oh, trust me, these are expensive, but like they're worth it. They're worth every penny. They make it so easy. Hi, handsome boy. So we had to take a break to change my diaper and soothe a little bit, and now we're into baby Catan. Okay, so also talking about, you know, down there care. Now this is gonna vary, of course, depending on whether you had a C-section or vaginal delivery, whether you tore or not. But I also recommend different sized pads. So I knew I was gonna bleed. I fully expected very heavy bleeding. I didn't expect that it would lighten up so quickly. In my mind, I thought I was going to bleed super heavily for like weeks, because that's what everybody says, and maybe that's how it is for some people, but I only bled really heavily for a couple of days, and then I started to just turn into like a normal period and then a light period, and then it got to the point where I really only needed panty liners. Definitely not a must-have, but a nice to have is postpartum underwear. I got these off of Amazon. There's also some on Target that I ordered. But essentially, it's kind of like compression underwear that do the same thing as the compression leggings, where it just kind of like holds you in and sucks you in, and you just feel a little bit more put together. Also, now they gave me a bottle of this in the hospital, which I wasn't prepared for. If you watch my postpartum, the basket video where I put together my bathroom baskets, I kind of explain a little bit farther. But I had bought a couple of these bottles ahead of time, and then they gave me one in the hospital. But if you tear at all and you get stitches down there, something like dermaplast is a must-have. It definitely helps with cooling, it soothes down there, and it helps if you're like itchy or things burn because of your stitches. Okay, let's see what I forgot. So I talked about different size pads, stool softener. Isn't this just a lovely video? Yeah, so that's another thing, especially if you tear. you're gonna have a hard time going to the bathroom after you deliver. I heard people talk about how painful it was to poop afterwards. I didn't realize it was gonna be that dang painful. So stool softener is a must. My midwife actually prescribed me with like a prescription strength stool softener. I think Lincoln's getting hungry again. He was just chewing on the baby Catan. Okay, we were getting too hot in the baby Catan. Okay, so some items that I recommend if you plan on breastfeeding. The first thing is the Breast Friend pillow. So a lot of people recommend the Boppy pillow, which works. I have that as well. That was nice for like when other people wanted to hold him, especially if you have little kids wanting to hold. It's just nice because it provides support. But for breastfeeding, this one is nice because it wraps all the way around. It clips and it goes right up against your belly. So this curve goes right up against your belly. The Boppy has a gap between the pillow and you, and the baby can kind of fall into it, and it's a little bit awkward. The Breast Friend pillow goes right up against you, and it made breastfeeding and positioning breastfeeding a lot easier for me. I brought this with me to the hospital, so I was able to use it right away, and that was definitely a lifesaver. I also recommend, if you're pumping for any reason, incorporating or buying extra pump parts. So when you buy the pump or you get the pump through your insurance, you will get one set of like cones and tubes and all of that stuff, but you're supposed to wash those after every pump, which I didn't know that either. I don't know these things. So it was just a pain in the butt, especially in the middle of the night, to have to wash those, dry them, get them ready for the next pump cycle, especially if you're feeding and pumping every 2 or 3 hours, which we were. Sometimes it was less than that. It was like an hour and a half. It just becomes very cumbersome. Also, because you are washing those pump parts so much, it's nice to have some quick cleaning options. So Medela sells this quick clean pump spray and these quick clean wipes. We use both. In fact, we still have this in our bathroom. I don't pump nearly as much as I did in the very beginning, but I still do. Also, if I have like a late night bottle I want to rinse off really quickly, this spray is fantastic. It sanitizes the products. It's good to use in the hospital if you're pumping or have parts in the hospital that you want to clean, just because it sanitizes and kills all the germs. So this stuff I recommend. We still use this quite a bit. The wipes we use less often, but I could definitely see if you're going back to work and you're bringing your pump to work or something like that. These wipes are really nice because you can just wipe off the, you know, if you have like nipple cream or anything on there, clean it all off and just kind of get things slightly. These don't have the sanitizing. No, you can't say, these aren't sanitizing, but this is. So I don't know, either or, both, whatever you choose. Definitely nice if you can't like run down to the kitchen or have like soap and water or sanitizer like every single time you clean your pump parts. Also for breastfeeding, your nipples are going to get very sore, very sore. I knew they were gonna get sore, but I didn't know they were gonna get that stinking sore. So there's lots of different things you can get, soothing pads, booby tubes, lots of stuff, but having some sort of balm is definitely essential. I went through a bunch of them. I had the Earth Mama version. I had the lanolin or Lancino, whatever it's called. This is lanolin. Lancino is the brand. The one in the purple tube, I had that one. I had Bamboobies. I had a whole bunch of them. This one is my favorite. It's by Medela. I like it because it's not as thick. It kind of is like a thinner consistency. So if you put it on your nipples before you pump, it's kind of like a lubricant, and it just helps the pumping feel less painful. Also, I feel like it's not as sticky, so if you get it on your fingers, you can wipe it off and you don't have like that stickiness, that petroleum jelly feeling. It doesn't have that. And I also just feel like it is less abrasive if the baby gets some of it in their mouth. Like the one in the purple tube just is so thick that it just, I don't know, it was messy, and I just felt like Lincoln was kind of like meh anytime he got it in his mouth. And then the Earth Mama and the Bamboobies ones, I just didn't like them at all. I feel like they didn't work. This one is definitely my favorite. It's the Medela Tender Care Lanolin. The last few little things, so if you have family coming over to stay with you for an extended amount of time, especially if they're coming from out of state and they need to use your car while they're in town, if you have friends, anything like that, if you have people running errands for you, then I definitely recommend having cash on hand. This is something that nobody ever talked about. I didn't even think about it. But when you're sending people to the store, or like my sister, I sent her to Motherhood Maternity to get me some leggings. Whatever the situation may be, if people are going somewhere to buy things for you, it's nice to just have cash to give them. Some people are totally fine and they don't, you know, I don't think people expect you to pay them, like they're more than willing to go buy groceries or whatever, but it's nice to offer and it's nice to have the money there. I ended up having to go to the ATM at one point because I don't keep cash on hand, like a stash of cash. So just something to keep in mind. It's nice to have money to go if people are running around town for you. Also, have a full tank of gas ready for them, or have gas money to give to them to fill up your gas tank. It's just something I didn't think about, and after my mom had gone to the store several times for us, I kind of felt really bad because she was buying all the groceries, and I was like, so I went to the ATM, got cash to give to her for the next grocery run. It just would have been nice to have the cash at home already. So one thing I have written on here along with gas is oil change. So if I had thought about it, I would have checked my car to see when the next oil change was due, because on our way to the hospital, my oil change light came on, and we still haven't changed the oil. It still needs to be changed. But once you're home from the hospital, like, it takes weeks to get into a routine, and I still don't know how we're gonna have the time to go to the dealership or the oil change place and have the oil changed. I mean, now we probably could, now that we're a little bit more established. I mean, I'm sitting here filming video, so I technically could go to get my oil changed at this point in time. But I just wish we would have done that ahead of time so I didn't even have to worry about it, you know what I mean? Also, things like if your dentist appointment is coming up soon, your annual checkups, stuff like that, like, try to do all of that before you deliver. I know it sounds crazy to plan that far in advance, but like, I have a dentist appointment coming up soon, and I'm trying to think to myself, like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? Like, you know, we don't have family in town anymore. People came in town to visit, but everyone's gone now, so it's just me and my husband and Lincoln. Stock up on paper products and groceries, meal prep if you can, freezer food prep if you can, things like that, to just, so you don't have to worry about, you know, leaving the house for a while if you don't have to. Oh, dog food. That's another thing, is stock up on your dog food, because sadly our dogs have been a little bit neglected in this postpartum phase, and I kind of feel really bad. And at one point they ran out of food and we had to do like a food run, so like, just stock up on your dog food, your dog treats. Alright guys, well, if you have any other items that I missed or that you recommend, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below so that anybody that's watching this can be properly prepared for postpartum. But congrats, hang tight, it's a crazy ride, and I'll talk to you in my next Mommy Monday video. Bye guys!